Bam. What up?
Good evening. Welcome to the buzz about Smithtown Krav Maga. Friday, August what? 9th, 2019.
What's going on? So we got Dougie and Kristi. They're joining us tonight. So we actually can ask more questions because Dougie's joining us.
That's right.
Which is awesome. So we're going to ask Kristi
This is your first appearance, though.
It is.
Really?
Doug is,
Out of all the videos I do with
Yeah.
Kristi,
Yeah,
Doug
I
is
think
one of
I've
the
been here the
longest.
longest, and I still
He held out.
he's back. So we're going to get some background on Dougie too then, but we're going to start with Kristi. Go ahead, Nick.
Welcome back, Kristi.
Thank you.
You've been gone for a while.
Yes.
We're very happy to see you back.
Thanks.
What's changed about,
What do you mean?
not just the building, but about Smithtown Krav Maga since you've come back? Have you noticed a change?
As far as from a couple months ago?
Well, the curriculum, the feel of the place, you know, just the perspective of someone who's had just a layoff and some kind of training. So
Yeah, because you
approach
guys
it from a
started
personal
under Hanchi, didn't
standpoint.
you? He's the one that signed you guys up, so.
Yeah, but I didn't train with Hanchi for that long. I mean, basically I started and you pretty much took over within, what, a month or two?
Yeah, Evan was there long
Before.
you.
Evan and Jordan.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
You know, but no, I mean, basically when I started was when you started, you know, took over.
Okay. So, a
I
little
don't
over,
feel-
almost 3 years. So a little over 3 years.
Yeah.
Very good.
I don't think the dojo, as far as looks wise, you know,
Yeah, it changes a little.
but the feel, even with having a couple months off, was like coming back, you know, family, friends.
It's like riding a bike.
Yeah.
Riding a bike.
Such a sap.
And the other thing that we always talk about is, you know, a family aspect to here, you know, and the fact that your husband started here with your daughter, and then you came with your son. And you would watch on the other side with your son, and then,
Yeah.
like all of us, we end up
I
on
got
the other
tired of
side.
watching.
Yeah, we ended up on the other side.
Yeah.
Then my son and
And,
her son became best friends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's awesome. And you know, I spent a lot of time as Evan's training partner. We banged each other up pretty
Oh
good
my
for the
God,
better
for so
part of.
long.
I trained, I trained with Evan before I bought the school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The three of you,
He was
you were probably
intense.
his main.
We miss him. You got to come back, Evan.
Good luck.
Yeah, we're gonna call you. Get off the couch,
had that
Evan, until you get back in.
numerous times.
Good luck.
So you've been here for at least 3 years. How's it changed you as a person from start to now?
I think my reasons for when I started to why I'm still here have evolved and changed. You want more on that?
Clarify,
Yeah, a little,
elaborate. I mean,
You
that's,
want to
that's
go one
like
more
a,
layer on that
that's
one.
like a trailer to a movie kind of thing.
We'll be right there.
Right.
We don't. There's no commercials
You
on this.
guys
Chris.
know, I
No,
mean,
we can't tease anything.
I used to watch Evan and Jordan train, and I spent a lot of weeks watching them, and I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. I want to learn that. I can do that. They can do. My kid can do that. I can do that. And so I started, and that was very humbling. That was very humbling.
Yeah, but you know, with the one thing, you're like everyone that really sticks it out here. You have that intensity about you. You don't mess around. You know, whether it's during
Right.
warm up or during working technique or partner drilling or even on a bag. You're giving it your all, and you've got a lot of aggression.
Yeah, you're here to
and,
train.
You're very serious about it. You know, which is what's kept you here. Is that part of your nature, or something that also as part of your nature maybe was further developed through coming here and training?
My nature is competitive, and I don't like to. I don't like to suck.
There you go. You're hard on yourself.
Is that true, Evan?
This is a kid-friendly show. Kid-friendly.
You know, it really was. I mean, the core of it was.
Nick, you're halfway out of it.
Yeah, well, after that
Come back
comment,
in.
I was crawling this way. I was trying to get out the show at this
Put
point.
your big boy pants on.
So I want to
Oh,
ask
see,
you a
that's what I
question.
mean.
You guys took some time off. What pulled you back?
I missed it a lot, and I felt myself slipping. And like I said, the twofold question of why I started and why I'm still here is realizing once I actually did do this myself was, oh my God, I bring nothing to the table if something happens. I'll die. I'm defenseless. You know, when you guys actually started hitting me, I was like, no. You know, I was like, holy shit. Sorry.
No.
you know,
Don't worry, that ship's already sailed.
Man, we
You
tried to keep it kid friendly, and 4 episodes in.
can edit these things, right?
I don't edit. This just goes on as it is.
I realized
the best way.
that I had no tools to defend myself or my children. And I'm not gonna lie, I love to fight. I'm not a badass, I'm not great at it, but I love it. I love being here, I love doing it, I love learning. It's like a new toy every time he teaches a move.
Yeah, it's like,
It is, yeah.
now let me go home and do it to Evan.
Yeah, you know, but I also want to be able to survive the fight if it did jump off for real.
Survive and win.
Yeah.
Win.
I think you've come a long way since you started.
Yeah, you've been here
Yeah, I've trained
as
with
long
you
as
and
I have,
hit
bro.
hard. And she takes a shot too. I think you got a big bruise. I saw.
I do.
somewhere.
See, this is my first week back. Welcome.
That's from those
Tattoos.
long guys.
Skin gets soft, we gotta harden you back up.
I know. Look at my knuckles split already.
Excellent. Welcome
That's the
back.
way to go.
Those are tough to
Manny Petty, Evan. That's what she's asking for.
Yeah.
So, Dougie's been here maybe even longer than I have.
11 years, maybe.
Wow.
Yeah, I think you've been here longer than I have.
Since Ronkonkoma.
So,
There's a message.
yeah,
on
see,
your-
my trial classes were in Ronkonkoma. He was moving right after that.
Yeah.
So I've been here since like this place started in this location. Yeah, so you got a couple years on me, dude.
Couple.
So you've been through some major changes. Would
Oh yeah.
elaborate?
Oh yeah. I mean, when I first started, it was Rosati MMA, which stood for Modern Martial Arts. I was looking for not a mixed martial arts school per se, not like a competition.
We're back. Oh, Nick's knocked back. We're back. Technical
Nick's back.
difficulties.
There we go. We're in.
All right, we're back.
All right. So as I was saying,
Rosati MMA.
so I started in Ronkonkoma. It was called Rosati MMA back then, which was stood for Modern Martial Arts. Like I said, I was looking for a school that offered a little bit of everything. You know, Krav Maga, I basically never really even heard of, and it wasn't even part of the curriculum back then. We did Kempo Karate, we did Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Did Sambo for
We
a
did
while,
Sambo,
too.
yeah. Yep, we did Muay Thai. You know, a little bit of everything. And then Hanchi slowly started to progress into Krav Maga. He went and trained under Nir Maman, yes. And came back and transitioned to school into Krav Maga, which I think was a great thing. It's very realistic and very brutal and easy to learn.
Yeah.
Speak for yourself.
Well, compared to other martial arts,
No, it's true. It is
you know, there's no katas. I mean, which we're throwing in now, but
Yeah, we're doing the cycle.
which I love. You know, yeah.
Bringing the old to the
No,
new.
but I think that's part of what's so great about it.
Yeah.
Is
It
you can do
evolves.
it and I can do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Evolves,
it's
everybody
different for
can do
me.
it.
I started martial arts.
Release the Kraken! Ah, class just ended, so.
But yeah, I started martial arts when I was, I think.
When I was a wee lad.
Yeah, when I was 11, 12, and I did Japanese Jiu-Jitsu under Bob Malvagno. Rest his soul, he just passed away a couple years ago. And I got my third degree brown belt. I was just under black. And in that school, you had to be 18 to get your black belt. I was 17. I was a stubborn teenager. You know, I didn't want to wait. And my parents told me I had to pay my own way. They didn't want to pay for me anymore. So I stopped training for a while and took up bar fighting for a few years.
Fun sport.
Yeah,
It's a good way to spend
yeah,
you
still got to keep in shape. I did jiu-jitsu. I started doing Brazilian jiu-jitsu with a couple friends, and I never stopped training. And then when I was looking for a school, I actually I don't know if Ruben's done any of these videos, but my buddy
Not yet,
Ruben,
Ruben, you got it.
yeah, he and I started together. We when I was married at the time, when we were both married, we us and our wives did cardio kickboxing. You know, I needed to get back in shape. I was getting fat, and so was he. And that's where we met. We met doing cardio kickboxing with the wives, and we did that for about a year and a half. And one day, Ruben and I just looked at each other and we were like, you know, you getting bored? You want to hit each other? He's like, yeah, let's go hit each other. So we went to a few different schools, and then we found Hanchi School, and we liked it. And the rest is history.
rest is still
Kenzo took
still
over.
in the writing.
It's even better than it ever was.
Well, you know, we have some avenues for those who want to go back into a little more traditional type of training. It's here if you want it.
Yeah,
There
we're
are people
trying
here
to
that'll
offer
show you
everything.
kata, and obviously we have, you know, the association with Ryukyu Kempo, which is, again, for those who really want to go back to the traditional roots, really sharpens the sword.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I was introduced to Filipino martial arts here. Yeah. Oh, but actually before Sifu Rich came here.
Oh yeah, we went
Yeah,
to.
actually we went and we met Sonny Mayo.
I found Sensei Mayo,
And that's actually where we met Rich.
Yeah, that was
a big awakening.
There,
I mean,
yeah.
I found a really big love for Filipino martial arts. I love weapon training, even the empty hand stuff. Right there, I love it all. And it's different. It's very different from it's different from Krav Maga, but it's got the elements to it, but it's got a different style to it, and I like it.
All more tools to have in your toolbox.
Yeah.
Sharp tools. Sharp tools.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I continue training under Sensei Sonny. Got my certification to teach bladed weapons, and which I am very far from done learning. I've got a ways to go.
But you're ready to start teaching, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Hey, new class coming soon.
Yeah. I
That'll
did
be
a little
fun.
teaching last night. I like it.
Yeah.
You're always
I'm
teaching.
not done
when
learning either.
but that's one of the things. Like every class you're in, you're always helping. You're always teaching. You're always, if they're busy, you're always there. You always help.
That's the
Well,
nature
you
of
learn.
it.
You learn from teaching. You learn through
Yeah.
teaching. as well.
You actually
Absolutely.
learn more by teaching because now you're forced to look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Gotta
when
analyze
I
it,
started
yep.
shadowing classes, when I came back, I found it hard at first to explain stuff that was rote, pretty much rote with
Just
me.
do
But
this.
I'm like, wait a minute, all right, now I'm doing it from the other side, and I have to
Yeah.
figure out how to, but it comes, and then you look at people, and then you actually see things that. You may see someone doing something and like, wow, I've been doing that, and that's not right. So you correct them
That
like you
happens
know
to me all
better,
the
but then
time.
you teach
Yep.
yourself at the same time.
Yeah, it's a
Wow,
learning
okay,
curve.
I'm seeing something, you do something that I realize is a fault of my own, and let's fix it together. So
Right. Makes sense.
it's a communal type of learning environment, because I remember with Hanchi here, it was maybe,
Take it easy, bro.
I was only here a few months, and he would say to me, and I would work with someone newer, and he would say, teach them, show them. And I'm like, who am I to show anyone anything, But it's, it's more about the teacher learns too.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the best. You should, I think that was like a recommendation to maybe start teaching a class here and there.
And
Well,
Doug,
I
how do
think-
you, I'm sorry, go ahead, Kristi.
No, I was gonna say I think you both should be teaching classes.
Yeah, well, definitely working toward it very soon. We'll have to start soon, right? Because
Yeah.
James has left. So
Yeah, we just
it's time to
ordered.
start
we
filming
gotta get
some
us
stuff.
Whoa,
together.
we're
far
gonna
as
give you
games
the kid
goes,
class.
No, I'm not. Fortunately, I can't get here in time. I was actually looking forward to the kid class because but now I work till 6 every night, so I can only get here for adults. But I worked, helped out with a few kid classes, and they'll catch you by surprise.
Oh, yeah.
This
It's a
one little
different
guy,
teaching,
he was
man.
all out of
Yeah.
breath.
You gotta teach them completely.
He
You
could
have to
barely
have
lift
patience.
his leg. He could barely lift his leg, and I'm like, come on, and boom, and he nailed me, and I wasn't wearing any protection. And it caught me by surprise, but it just shows you that they're, you can't
Teaching.
underestimate anybody,
Especially the little ones.
even if they're 7 years old.
And you gotta be able to communicate on their level.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You
Well,
talk
I'm,
to
I
them
can,
completely
I'm like a
different.
child anyway.
Yeah, I'm a kid, so it's easy for me.
I spend
I make
90%
like
of
sound
my
effects.
time with
Boom!
the kids. So yeah.
Then you gotta go pow.
Yeah.
You know.
So
and
yeah.
then like if it helps if you know like what they're into. Power Rangers. So you take the White Ranger like
And true kid enthusiasm. With true kid enthusiasm, I want to ask Doug about that Billy Jack kick of his.
What's that?
The what is it, a spinning heel kick or a crescent kick?
Oh yes, the spinning.
The one that rendered me unconscious on my feet for like
Yeah.
2 seconds once.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a high kicker, very flexible. I mean, even when I was, I was at like 260 pounds at one point. People would be like, "Oh, you can't kick me in the head," and I would kick over people's heads. I mean, it's just,
Wow.
Yeah, but that's always been like your kind of.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, and I don't recommend it. It's, but
Dougie
somebody-
likes it.
Yeah.
Well,
He's gonna do it.
I actually
But
said
and
that.
I mean, and I've done it effectively in a real life situation. I mean, and if you practice it, it's something that comes natural to you, then it does work. But it's not something I would teach a beginner
Right.
off the street. I mean, especially in Krav Maga. I mean, it's not. it's not Taekwondo, so it's.
I mean, you really have it mastered to the point where you don't see it coming. And I even, I journalized my whole experience with my test, and I wrote about that kick. And I'm here, and next thing I know, I'm 3 feet standing over here. And I talked about how that's not something you would normally use on the street unless you're Doug. Because you don't see it coming, and it's fast, and it's just, I don't know how to describe it other than it's shock and awe. You have no idea it's there until it's there.
Yeah, I've seen him throw that kick. Luckily, I've never
because there's something about the way you throw it that's completely deceiving. It forces you to not even think about carding this side.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I try to set it up that way.
I'll be looking
One
at
day
this
I'll reveal
film.
my secret.
Should have filmed it before my test.
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, as far as this place being a family, I mean, I've met some of my best friends in the world here. And my life has changed 100% since I started coming here. I lost a wife, but I gained a whole family. So,
See that positive.
And we were all pulled here by a family in some way. Me through my wife finding the place and saying, I think I want to take Nicholas to Krav Maga. What is that? I wanted to learn martial arts, not a dance class. What is Krav Maga? Folk dance? And she's like, no. She goes, I met this guy Hanshi, and I'm like, all right, let's go with it. And 3 years later, I'm out there. So maybe less than 3 years later.
A lot of people have started like that. They come here, bring their kids here to train. Yeah. And then
my son was 12 or 13 at the time. He's going to turn 20 now, so that was a while ago. And it's like 5 years have passed here like that, nearly 5 years. So
Look, I would have never wound up doing this if I wasn't here watching Jordan and Evan.
And that's how it starts. The parents sit over here and they watch their kids train, and they're like, you know what, I can do this.
Maybe I should learn how to do this.
I got tricked into it.
I got tricked
because
yeah, but that mentality, like I should learn how to do this, I think comes later on.
Yeah.
You know, when
you learn effectiveness, it's like, wow, that works.
But not only that, but you also get put in, when we would do mob drills and things like that, you get put in different situations and you realize, holy crap, I don't know how to get out of this. I don't know how to defend myself. I can't fight. You start realizing those things. Right, and that's what happened to me. I mean, I saw those things and I was like, well, now I need to do this.
Did you find, at least for me, did you find that one of the most eye-opening things about being in a drill like that is how quickly you get
everything
winded,
moves,
how quickly
you're exhausted in 1 minute.
And that it is something you could really control when you think about it, but in the beginning it's like almost impossible to get through that without just sucking wind. The drill's over, you're like, ugh.
One of the first drills that I did.
You always end that drill like that, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, sorry. We'll just all talk over each other.
It happens sometimes.
One of the first drills I did, I got rocked. I mean, my head spun, my helmet spun, and I wanted to cry. I really wanted to cry. And I didn't cry. Do you remember that? You defended me. I don't know if you remember that.
I wasn't here that night.
No,
I heard about it though.
You were
or was
here.
I in my office?
You were here because you came out and made the kid go against you afterwards.
Oh.
There's a few you getting dropped on my head. You weren't here that night.
Yeah,
that was my own husband.
I heard about it.
Dougie takes care of it.
But
I won't name names, but yeah, I remember that.
Remember
that? The person's still here?
No.
But it was eye-opening. Like, I don't regret it. It was just eye-opening.
It is.
You learn from everything.
You learn from getting hit.
Yeah, and it was truly eye-opening.
I mean, there's
for me
people
where
out there
I was
who.
like,
I'm sorry.
no, it's just the whole.
We keep cutting each other off.
Well,
I'm very excited about this conversation.
This is a good one.
But there are people out there who have taken martial arts for years and have never been punched in the face.
Yeah.
And that's
I don't think that's
you need to be hit to learn how to fight.
Right, because for the first, I would say, 6 months, every time I flinched, and I cowered, and I looked away. Now you guys get to hit me all the time.
Now you burst in.
And now I burst in, and I'm like, all right, let's go.
This works better. Yeah.
But that takes time. Like, that natural reflex to do this is really